channel, welcome back to a new video. So we're gonna take a little break from the exhaust videos for a little bit until the AWE touring comes in, which is going to be actually this week. But there's a few things coming in the mail that I want to get done. They're a little, smaller things that I've been meaning to get done. I just kept on putting them down on the list. So now I figure it's a good time to knock those out while I'm waiting for the new exhaust. So over here, I have a couple things that came in so far. There's still about 4 more shipments coming in. But this first shipment is the Cartboy shifter bushings. I have the Cartboy short shifter on there now, but I always wanted to do the bushings and I never got around to it. And I never did them in my WRX. I was always so pleased with just the short shifter that I never did the bushings. I never found the need, but I'm always curious to see how much of a change these make. Supposedly they make it a lot more fun to drive, a lot more notchier. So I decided to pick them up. Kind of a pain in the butt to install, but we'll make a whole entire video on that. I also picked up some parent front end links, the same exact ones that I run on the rear. The poly ones, absolutely love them. I'm running a parent 25mm sway bar with their poly end links as well in the rear. The front stock sway bar is 24mm, so there's really no need to upgrade it. But the weak point of it is actually the end link. So I'm going to upgrade these, see if I feel any difference. Probably won't, but it's just one of those things that I wanted to upgrade and I always wanted to do. So I decided to pick those up. I got a new gasket for the downpipe to the catback connection. I'm going to be putting this on once I get the new AWE Touring catback in. Of course, naturally, I also picked up some Titanium Works hardware for the exhaust. These 2 bolts right here, and there's some nuts and washers that I'm going to be installing with that as well. The next thing that I picked up is the Grimspeed top mount intercooler silicone kit. So it's a throttle body coupler as well as the Y pipe coupler that connects to the turbo. I should have done these when I did the top mount intercooler install, but for whatever reason I didn't, so I decided to pick them up. So I gotta take that top mount off again. And the reason for that is the stock ones are just really flimsy. They tend to break and wear down over time. So I wanted to get something a little bit nicer on the top mount. But what we're going to be installing tonight is actually an OEM Subaru part. These are the OEM JDM version side vents in black. Now in the US, the WRX and the STI come with the silver trimmed vents. For whatever reason, I don't know why they decided to choose silver. It doesn't have any silver in the interior of the car. So I decided to pick up some legit OEM JDM versions of them. Now, if we look in the interior, I actually already wrapped them. So I wrapped the outer ones and I also wrapped the ones on the IDing head unit over there. Those I can't replace since they are fixed. So I'm just gonna leave those wrapped. But I wrapped these probably about a little over a year ago. But as you can see, some of the vinyl's popping up in the corners and everything down here. I did a nice job with them. I took everything apart and I wrapped it really nicely, but just with the heat and just over time, it kind of lifted up a little bit. So I wanted to get the real versions and get them knocked out. So it's a very, very simple install. Let's unbox these, show you exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm not sure if a lot of people know about these, but it literally looks exactly like the one I just showed you in the car. But it's just a lot nicer and it's an OEM Subaru part. So let's open them up and check them out. Right, so if anybody is curious, here are the 2 part numbers that you're going to need. You're going to need a left and a right one. This is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. So it's the same number, just 50 and 40. They don't necessarily come in a package. You have to buy them separately. I got these from Subi Speed, so they do sell them together, but they are 2 different part numbers. So make sure you take note of that. All right, so let's just open this one because I actually already took a look at it just to make sure everything was okay. These were out of stock for a while, actually, just with everything going on. So I was pleased to see that they were in stock, so I decided to pick up a pair. These are one of the things that I've been staring at for a long time, and I don't know why I didn't pick them up. But here it is, super, super clean. This is an OEM part, so it's going to fit literally OEM. The only difference that I can tell right away is, I mean, obviously the black gloss trim, but on the little dial right here, there's no little white notch. On the ones that come on the US versions, like the ones in my car, they have a little white notch here, which I guess is not a big deal. My center ones do have a little white notch, so we'll see how much that bothers me. But either way, super, super clean, very, very nice. As you can see, all it takes is these 2 clips on the bottom to install. It literally just slides right in. It's the full assembly, so it's the vent and everything. It's not just the actual casing. And as you can see, everything works properly. Let's go ahead and open up the other one. I'll do that off camera since it's the exact same thing. And then we'll get them knocked out and put them on the car and I'll show you what they look like. All right, so I already took the liberty of popping this one out. What I did basically is I just popped up this corner and then eventually just came right out and it slides right out. So you don't need to remove anything. Here is the side-by-side. This is the new JDM version, and this is the stock one that is wrapped. So as you can see, the little white notch right there. And then on the JDM one, it's just black, which I kind of like even better. The quality is nice. As you can see, it's literally the exact same thing, just much nicer. But yeah, let's pop the new one in and then we'll hop over to the driver's side. There's a little close-up of it installed just for anybody that is curious. Everything works. I mean, it literally is OEM. But very, very nice. I'm happy I don't have to deal with the wrapped edges anymore. As you can see in that corner, it's popping up right there. So much, much nicer. Makes me sleep better at night. The driver's side, I'm looking forward to most replacing, simply because I don't know if you guys can see, but see that little split right there? When I first did these, this was the first side that I did. I actually split this trim out here. You know, you pop it out of the actual vent, and that's what I was doing so to wrap it, and then I actually cracked it right there. But I ended up repairing it with some glue. I forget what I actually did, and then I wrapped over it. So it's really, really hard to tell, but that little notch right there has always bothered me. And if you look close, you can see the wrap peeling up underneath. I guess just from the heat and everything and the air popping through here, which is constantly changing temperatures, that's what kind of made it pop up. But yeah, so same thing. You literally just grab this corner. I'll try to get it on camera. It's good. It's kind of hard to get this angle. And then put the new one in. I feel so much better about life now. Just knowing that crack is gone. I don't see the vinyl popping up or anything anymore. Super clean. These are about 70 bucks for both sides, so it's not too bad. I mean, yeah, it's a little on the pricier side just for vents, just for literally the black trim here, but it's definitely worth it. Now, my center ones, you can actually buy the JDM versions like this if you have the normal head unit. But since I have the iDoing head unit, this whole entire top piece is actually connected to the head unit. So I cannot actually replace just the trim around there. So I had to wrap them. And same kind of thing around the corners is popping up. This was a huge pain in the butt to wrap. I did it in the car. So I might redo it and take the whole head unit out of the car and get it knocked out. I'm not going to do that tonight, but yeah, as you can kind of see, it's kind of popping up in the corners around here and stuff. Constantly fixing it, so it's a pain in the butt. But it still gives a nice look and it ties everything in. Otherwise, the trim around there is silver, and I literally have no silver in my car. So it looks absolutely terrible with that. But so yeah, super quick install. It's just one of those things I just wanted to get knocked out. Everything else over here is a little bit more involved. You know, it's requiring getting under the car and actually work, you know, doing some actual work. But tonight I just kind of want to take it easy, kind of, you know, not spend all night in the garage doing this kind of stuff. And you know, I just wanted to get something simple done. So everything else, there'll be separate videos on all that. So if anybody's interested in how to install any of this on here, there's gonna be dedicated videos for each. So be on the lookout for those. I'll probably get some of them done during the week, throw some videos up when I get a chance to get them done. But my main focus is to get the AWE touring exhaust on the car once that comes in. I also got a few other goodies. I actually picked up an APR carbon fiber license plate backing over here. I've been back and forth on it for, you know, a number of years. It's one of those things that I constantly put in my shopping cart. And then when I went, you know, right before I hit submit, I always took it out just because I was like, I'll get it some other time. So I figured I'd pick it up, see if I like it. I also picked up a new glove box, which I know sounds very strange, but if you can kind of tell, you can see some scratches right there. Those happened when I first got the car. I had a propane tank up in the front seat. And the handle here was scratching it, which I didn't know. I got really mad about it. And it's one of those things that just kept putting off. And I found a really good condition one. I think it was only like 40 or 50 bucks. I don't know why I didn't pick it up like 4 years ago. But it's just one of those things I had on the bottom of the list as well. So I picked that up. I don't think I'm gonna make a video on that, but I figured I'd mention it. I might just throw it in, you know, another video, but yeah, so that has always bothered me and I'm really happy in taking care of it. And obviously the main most important thing that's coming in is the AWE Touring exhaust. Again, there's going to be videos on the install, my thoughts, sound clips, all that. I do plan on going out and getting some real sound clips with the Cobb exhaust that I have on currently. In the past few videos, you guys heard some clips, you know, just revving and stuff, nothing substantial. But I want to go out and actually do some flybys and stuff and, you know, get a dedicated actual video, not really much talking or anything, just actual sound clips. Because those were just thrown in the end of install videos and all that stuff. So I'm also going to record some in-car footage as well so people can get an idea of what it sounds like inside the car. You know, just do a dedicated video on the exhaust sound. So I also have another thing coming from RK Titanium. I got their radiator pipe. So it's the pipe that comes, you know, from the radiator right here. It's like a little elbow. Of course, I got it in titanium. It actually shipped last week, so I should have it in this week. And I'm going to get that installed as well. There's still more things coming in, but I figured I would just kind of mention some videos that are coming up since I know you guys are always asking, you know, what's next and what are you going to do to the car and all that. So figured I would just throw that in this video. But yeah, so that is the install for the JDM vents. I'm really happy I finally picked them up. Again, it was one of those things that was just sitting in my cart forever. And I always just, you know, ended up taking them out at the very end, right before I hit submit. But yeah, it really cleans up the interior and I highly suggest picking them up. It's a relatively cheap mod and really it makes the interior look much nicer in my opinion. Gets rid of that ugly silver. Makes it look much nicer and just, you know, works with the interior much better. So if anybody has any questions at all, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple. I'll catch you in the next one.